Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Let's Talk Business. Whew, so much to say about what else is possible for all of us with business. And what I'd like to invite you guys is to not just sit on the sidelines of this conversation, but actually allow yourself to be part of this time together. Okay. I know when things are for free, we're like, oh, yeah, I will not receive. What if you can actually receive and let this conversation in as much as possible? There's this weird point of view that this world has that probably many of you have. You know what you know is if something doesn't cost anything, it can't be so good. Well, the universe delivers contribution to you in so many different ways. So what if it's something you can allow yourself to have? What if you could allow yourself to have contribution however it shows up and whenever it shows up and from whomever it shows up? So this is an invitation for you to receive and let it in. And if you receive, you actually gift. And business, if you look at business in this reality, I mean, just saying the word brings up so much, ugh, right? Like, oh my God, I have to work hard and do so much, and not much money is coming in, and I have to work so hard to get something. That's this reality's basis, this reality's foundation for business. And that's, I'm going to say, business done normal. What this conversation is about is business done different. And business done different is truly about you allowing yourself to be so different that business can show up different for you. And there's so many elements to go with that. Like, what could business done different be for you? Well, if business done normal is business being heavy and a lot of work to get money, what if business done different could be about you remembering the joy of business? So what's an example for that? Well, if you look back into your childhood where you were playing, with everything, remember? Where everything was a game, everything was play. And you were maybe drawing something or producing something, you were doing something with your hands, and it, showed up as, with clay or sand or something, and you had the joy of presenting it to, let's say, your parents and say, look, mom, look what I created. And she went, oh, that's so amazing. That's business. That's business. Okay. But then we forget. So it's the joy of, I'm producing something, I'm creating something, I'm really, really proud of it. Hi, world, here it is. Look at it. Oh my God, it's awesome. Don't you love what I just created? Don't you just want to give me money for it? Yeah, that shameless joy of, like the turn on of, here is what I created. It's that. I just had a class recently in Germany, and there was this little girl, I think she was 12 or something, and she just stood up and said to everyone, who wants to give me bars? I am ready for bar. Who wants to give me bars? And I love that energy, because she was just like, of course someone will give me the bars. I mean, it's really, if you don't know what the bars are, it doesn't make sense. It's not going to a bar. It's a treatment you get on your head to be more relaxed, kind of massage, but it's just like a relaxation thing. And she just stood up and asked for it, and it was the most, how do you say, like, it was, of course I will get it. I don't know who from whom, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't care about the how, when, or who. I just go, yep, this is happening. So that is a big element of business done different. The, hey, this is happening. Of course, I will have money. Of course, people will come to what I'm doing. Of course, people will buy from me. Like, hello, universe. I have this awesome product. Who wants to buy it? Who wants to give me money? I'm ready. That. What if we are that again and pull that energy into our bodies and into our universes in the most natural way, because it is natural for us. Okay. Are you ready? Yes, no? Mm-hmm. Cool. Yes, cool. Thank you. And that has a very joyful energy, right? It's a very generative energy. So a lot of that is about what are you choosing to be? So being and receiving are two elements that I guess almost no one talks about in a business training. Being and receiving. It's like business trainings are all about, okay, do you have a social media account? And how often do you post? And how many, like, how do you get more followers? And how do you, and how do you, and how do you? Basically, how do you get things right? And how do you win and not lose? Which for us creative people works or does not work. You know what you know, like how many trainings have you done where people tell you, find your niche, do this, do that, and you tried to do it and you failed. You thought you failed because you didn't do it the way that the person says, and then you thought you are not capable of doing business. No, you're not capable of doing business their way, but you are capable of doing business your way, and that's business done different. Not looking at these books where people tell you, you know, do A, B, C, D, and then you will get a lot of money and success and millions. Yeah, that works maybe for them because that's them, you know, but you need to find your way. And that's the luxury of it. What if business is the luxury of going, okay, I have no clue about how business works. Great. I'm happy I have no clue because now I'm super open. I can be super open and I can have the luxury of finding out how would I like to create business my way, with everything. How would you like to set up your business with emails? With do you want to have social media or not? How would you like to do would you like to have a logo or not? How could that look like? Mm, what kind of products would you like to create? How would you like to package them? I mean, isn't that like, maybe I'm crazy. Yes, I am. But isn't that like super exciting and fun? No? Yes? A little bit? Yeah. So what if you allow that energy into your life again, where it's exciting and fun to find your unique way, your unique signature in everything you create? Huh? Wow. So then it's not about comparing and going, this person has this and this success. How do they do it? Let me copy it, which works or not. Have you ever tried to copy someone who's successful? And did you have fun? No, no, you didn't. Or maybe you did in some way, but then not long. So copying is for us creative people, it's like, it doesn't work. It's super boring and it kills our creativity. So what if you see someone who you watch them talk or do something and it goes like in your world, you're like, oh yeah, it like turns you on or something, it sparks you, and you go, oh, let's not look at how they do it, but what's the energy behind it. Okay, I'm going to say it again. So when you see someone that you're inspired by, that really creates lightness in your world, not rightness, but lightness, difference. Okay, when you see someone that creates a lightness in your world, not rightness. I hope you know what I mean with the difference. Okay, yes. If you see someone that creates lightness in your world, then rather than looking how exactly are they doing it, look at the energy behind it. Like, what are they being? What are they, what is that? Because that will give you a hint, a clue on what works for you. Does that make sense? Okay, so use other people rather than copying it or getting it right. Use them as an inspiration to find out more about you, right? Because what we want to do, especially right now, in how the world looks, is we would like to what is required right now is to a couple of elements. First of all, what else can I receive? Let in contribution, not like I have to do it all by myself. I don't need anyone. Yeah, you don't need anyone, that's true. But you can receive. Like one of the really most important elements of success is receiving. And almost none of us have been taught to do that. We've been learned to take, but not to receive. You know, receiving is a totally different element of, it has a softness to it. It has you lower your barriers. You don't walk around with a big wall around you, but you go, okay, wherever contribution comes in, whether it's from an animal or from a tree or from a person or a class I'm taking or a book I'm reading, I'm letting it in. I don't need to be right anymore. I can just like melt. I can melt and let contribution in. That's a really important element. If you don't know what receiving it is, ask universe, can you please show me what receiving is? Okay? And if you have a cat at home, the cat will show you. You know, cats, animals are amazing receivers. They can show you and your body that energy. Okay? So that's one element. Another element is look at where you are trying to create order in your life and business rather than chaos. What does that mean? Well, if you try to create order, you try to have control, and order and control are not receiving. Okay? So how many control freaks do we have on this Zoom? I think all of us can raise both hands, both feet, and everything we can raise. Right? So being a control freak is not wrong. Please, it is not wrong. You can use your controlling desires and ask, how can I use them to my advantage rather than using them against me? But if you do control from, I have to have everything in order, I have to have my ducks in a row, okay, I have to have everything figured out, then you're not receiving. Okay, so business does not work so well if you try to have everything perfectly in your head calculated, because you're not open for new inspirations, you're not open for new creativity or new ideas or even money. You know, money doesn't come from you ordering your life and going, what's my budget for this month? Budget and saving is creating order and is creating more lack. Okay, so rather than trying to hoard, let's say, money, what if you look at how can I use and create with money so more can come? Okay, so right now, the world, people are hoarding so much, especially money. But that, like, hoarding comes from the point of view of lack. If you think you need to hold on to something, you already have decided that there will not be more money showing up in my future. Does that make sense? Okay, if you have the need to hold on to money and you say, I have to keep my money and not spend it, you already project lack on your future. That, okay, and your point of view creates your reality. Oh. Okay, so what if you change your point of view, change your perspective to, if you move money, then money can move into you. Okay, so if you actually use your money in ways that you know creates more for you, then more money can come in. And that's actually what the world requires right now, you know, because the economy and how the world and how business is set up, it's like when people actually use their money, then there's more money moving, and people can have more money. But when everybody holds on to money, then there's like a super much lack going on. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what I would invite you to is to look at, am I hoarding my money? Am I hoarding my energy? I'm using money as an example because it's so clear. But this is about everything, also hoarding your energy, hoarding so much. If you hold on and hoard, you already create lack in your life. Okay, so everything that is, let's use the access consciousness clearing statement. I will not explain it. You can look it up, but it's required to clear something here. So everything that is, will you destroy and create it, please, times a godzillion. All of that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. Okay, there's a new clearing statement, by the way. So this is where you would like to look at, okay, do I already have decided I have lack and I will have lack in my future? That's the point of view you create as your future. So how different can you be to not have that point of view that everyone else on the planet has right now? Okay, so again, everywhere you already project lack on your future, will you destroy and create it, please, times a godzillion? Yes, let it go. Bye-bye. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. Whew. Wow. This has a lot of charge. So just but the cool thing is you don't have to work so hard. If you just become aware of, oh, I am holding on to energy, I'm holding on to money because I've decided I will not have more. I already create my future with that point of view. Now I see it, now I can change it. It's not so much work. It's the moment you see it, you can change it. It's so easy. Okay, you just go, wow, for example, wow, interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I need to hold on to everything. Wow, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. That's a funny, interesting point of view. And is it even mine? Where did I buy it from? Ah, my mom, my dad, my country, the world. Wow, goodbye. You can all have it back. How different can I be? And that's really, really important right now as the world is. Knowing that you have choice, knowing that you still can create your life and your business no matter what's going on around you. Yeah. So would you be willing to claim your creative capacities again that you have parked before 2019? Would you claim and own your creative capacities again that you've parked before 2019 when everybody told you the world is going to shit and you cannot create anymore and there's just lack and stagnation and depression? Would you just from that time before, would you just go energetically, okay, I'll have them again? Don't think about it. Just, yes, I'll have all of those creative capacities. Everything I know about creating money and business and having fun and going for it, I'll just claim it back. Yes, that's all required. Everything doesn't allow that. Will you destroy and create it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poets, bases, creations, and beyonds. Ah, I know there's a chat. I'm sorry, I forgot that there is a lot of comments. If I should say something about anything in the comments, can someone tell me? Thank you.
No, there were no questions yet.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, and having it easy. That's really another element of how different can I choose to be? Yeah. So rather than, you're so welcome. So rather than creating order, so look at where you are creating order in your money, in your financial reality, and in your business reality. And then allow chaos. What does chaos mean? Chaos means movement. Chaos means things can move again. It's like order is like an example, if you don't move your body because you think, oh my God, if I move, I will get hurt. So I will just sit still so nothing can happen to me. So I'm ready for the future. And then you create a lot of like tension in your muscles because you don't move, but you know everything is in order. I'm safe because I'm not moving, because I cannot get hurt and I'm safe for all eternity. Ouch. But at some point your muscles were hurt from all the order you create. So if you see that in your whole life, that's the same way. But if you then go, I'm not worried about getting hurt anymore. I want to live. I want to thrive. Then you start moving your body again and your muscles can start to relax, and your body gets more flexible. It's the same in your whole life. Does that make sense? Same in your whole life. If you stagnate and go, I cannot spend any money, I cannot do any business right now because it's dangerous right now, because of the world, then you create order, you create pain, you create stagnation. You put the brakes on everything. Everything that is, all of this, everywhere you've put the brakes on in your whole life, will you destroy and create a please times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. Ah, wow. Okay, so what if you invite the chaos again, the movement again, okay, what and how do you do that? How do you invite more movement? By, as first of all, choosing it and going, okay, yes to more movement in my business, in my fun, in my money, in my whole life. Yes to more movement. Yes to living and thriving. I'm choosing this now. And another element of doing this is questions. Every time you ask a question, you start moving things again. What's a question? Not what we've learned in school. A question is about possibilities and not answers. Like, for example, hey, universe, I have no idea how to change my financial reality right now or business. But I'm going to ask a question. What else is possible here? What else is possible? How does it get any so much better with all my finances? What can I be? What can I receive? And what can I do to increase my income stream more than I can handle with total ease? Bring it, universe. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm in receiving mode. I'm not going to control, maybe a little bit, but I'm working on not controlling. So I'm receiving. Bring it. And that's something we all have to practice. Rather than controlling and getting angry, receive. Every time you control and get angry, you stop receiving. But you are right if that's important for you. Everything that is times a godzillion way destroying and creative is right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. Yes, we have a question from Ingrid.
Yes, we have two questions in the chat, and
Okay.
I'm going to take this one first because it matches the topic that we're just talking about. Wanda's asking, is hoarding the same with saving that creates energy of lacking? What about investing?
I love that question. That's a brilliant question. I'm grateful for it. Yeah, it's all about from what point of view are you doing it? Yeah, so we cannot say saving is always that or hoarding. Like it depends on what's the point of view behind it. So hoarding does have an element of I have to keep and I have to keep it with me, and it can only be an inflow but not an outflow. And it's the point of view that every outflow is bad and creates lack. Okay, so that has a very big underlying point of view of lack, which look at where you are going. I know like investing, let's say in this class, would create more for my future, but I don't want to spend the money because I will not get more money. That's hoarding on to. That's not creating the future. That's what I'm talking about with hoarding. But if saving can be both. Saving can be done from lack. I have to save because there will be bad times. Already projecting on the future that will be bad times. But saving can also be an awareness. It can be like, oh, I love to have like a certain amount of money on the side, or either in money or in gold or in silver or whatever you invested in. And you have it because you know, oh, I have money and I'm willing to have money. You know, the you have to look at, am I doing it from lack or am I doing it from creating a greater future? Look at from what point of view you're doing it. You know, and the same with investment, whether you invest in gold or silver or even investing in a class. Like what I've seen so many times when I thought, when I had decided, oh my God, my bank account is not as huge, as large as I've decided or wanted it to be. And then there was like something coming up, like someone did a class, and I'm like, okay, that class will give me more information about the future. It will give me more. It will open up for a greater future, and it costs money. And even if I didn't have much on my account, I'm like, okay, if I invest in this class, will this be an investment in my future? Yes. Will this make me money? And then yes or no. Will this create more profit? Yes. And then I'm like, okay, I do it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but I'm doing it. And it always paid off. Like it always brought more money and more possibilities because I was willing to have it. So that would be investment, you know, investment in gold, in silver, in whatever you want to, you know, antiques, classes, whatever you know creates more. But this is making choices that oftentimes don't make sense, but you know they create greater. And that's true investment. Okay, that's creating a profit for your life and your future. And profit is money and more than money. Profit is not just money. Profit is you creating a greater future. Like, for example, I'm one of the owners of the castle in Italy, Castello de Casa Borgone. We can put a link there. And it's really, it's a castle that we renovated a couple of years ago from nothing. And now it's a hotel and a restaurant. And it's beautiful, it's luxurious, it has a lot of antiques, it's amazing. And it was not comfortable to be part of that project, I can tell you. It was so challenging for me because that castle costs a lot of money. It's still like, it has a lot of costs, you know, because it's an old building and renovating and everything. So for me, paying all that money for the castle, for other people would go, are you stupid? Why are you doing it? Like, where's the money? You like, where's the profit, like the win, the money profit? And I'm like, yes, that will come. That is the future. But right now, me investing all that money in the castle is creating a greater future on the planet. And if you ever have been at the castle, you know what I'm talking about. You know, so investing in something beautiful that a lot of people can profit from. Like every time someone walks into the castle and goes, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so wonderful to be here. It changes my life. It is so nurturing to be treated by the staff so wonderfully. It's so beautiful. Every time someone says that, even if I paid for it, it creates more for me and it creates more for the future. So I know this is maybe I hope it's not too big, that conversation, but I just want to invite you to, profit is money and more. It's like me investing in that creates a greater future on the planet. Everyone who's taking a coffee, just drinking a coffee in the castle, it changes their life and their futures every time. And that's the world I would like to see. And if it costs me money, okay, but it creates more profit. And I know it will also create more money in the future. Absolutely. You know, but that is where, what if you have a different perspective on what investment is, you know, where it's money and so much more. Okay. So I hope that helps. Yes, and the castle is so different and beautiful and peaceful. Exactly. It creates that sense of peace in your body and your being. So you can go there, have a cocktail, have a coffee, or have a night there, or go to the restaurant. It's really, it's changing people's lives. So yeah, there's so much to that. What questions can we ask to invest money and have more possibilities show up? It's so you have to find out what's turning you on. Okay. It's like for some people, antiques turn them on. They're like, they look at a beautiful furniture piece and they're like, oh my God, like the energy of this just, you know. So then you have a, like, that is like a clue where you and your body have a special communion with, let's say, antiques. So then you can ask questions about investing in antiques. Maybe some others of you love jewelry, you know, like this is some, you know, like jewelry is something I love, and investing in jewelry is where I'm like, you know, it turns me and my body on. So I know, okay, that is something that's congruent with me. So then I can ask questions about what jewelry, when, from whom, you know, how much creates the future, creates more profit, you know. But investment, again, if you only look at investment from the money it makes you, how small does your world have to be? But if you look at investment of how much money does it make me plus what future is it creating, bigger world. Okay, so Ingrid, what questions? Thank you for
There
helping me with
was
that.
a question from Moksha, and I also see Lisa's had her hand up. So I'm not sure if you want to follow the energy on.
Let's take two more questions because so we're not going too long. Yeah.
Okay, so Moksha is asking, so as there is insecurity, that's why we hold on to things or relationship. So what can we do to overcome insecurity and have freedom?
I love that question. Thank you for making me talk about that. It's easier if I see the question. Let me see. So, but anyway, I can.
It's at 11:22. I can post it again.
You're wonderful. Thank you. That helps. I found it. Thank you.
Okay.
So yes, because why am I needing to see it? Because there's so much. I mean, this is a question I could talk forever about, but let's just keep it short. Insecurity always comes from a lack of acknowledging you. Okay? If you would acknowledge you and who you truly are, could you ever be insecure? No. So again, that's something we can practice. And ask for it. Hey, universe, can you please contribute? I have so far, I've bought the point of view that I suck at this and this and this. I'm willing to let the rightness of that point of view go. So everywhere I've decided I'm right about me sucking at this and this and this and this, I will let it go now. Bye-bye, destroy and uncreated, pot pock. What can I acknowledge about me? Please, universe, show me. And then when you ask that, be willing to receive it. And it will come in different ways. You know, people will maybe tell you, hey, I was having coffee with you and my world is different. Thank you. Well, let it in. Lower your barriers and go. Even if you think you're dying, just let in that acknowledgement of how you changed someone's world. Most of us have an easier time receiving negative judgments than acknowledgement. When someone says you're stupid, we're like, yeah, I've heard this my whole life. I'm fine with that. But when someone says, thank you, you changed my life, it's like, la, 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 la. You know, like not hearing, not like. So that is something that's harder for most people to receive than negative judgment. We always think negative judgment is worse. No. Negative judgment is much easier to receive than acknowledgement. Let's face it. So like what if you practice that? So whenever someone is grateful for you, go force yourself to lower your barriers and let it in. Let it change your world. Receive it. Yeah. So that's how you get over the insecurity. And then everything else, from the need to hold on to, it just changes as a side effect. Because when you know what you know and when you trust you, then you can tell yourself, wow, I am in the best hands in mine and the universe's. What if you let that in? I am in the best hands in my hands, and the universe's and consciousness hands. Notice how that is uncomfortable or not like normal to receive. Yeah, that. Okay. That is a short summary of answering that question. Cool. Lisa.
Hi, Susanna. It's such a great call. Thank you so much.
So welcome.
My question is about killing energy. That I am refusing to be the killing energy that is required right now for my life and business to go bigger.
So I know, but look at that energy of what you're just saying. The energy behind it is sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if it doesn't have to be that way? I know we're all used to, oh, if I change something, yeah. And we have our different countries for it, you know, like there's a certain in Austria, there's a certain in Estonia and Finland, and you know, it's like yeah, we all have our different weird things going on based on where we grew up. Everything that is right, wrong, good, but fuck all 9 shorts, boys, forward spaces, creations, and beyonds. But what if you had take an easier route? What if you just melt it? What can I be to melt all of that into something greater with ease? That energy. What would that require you to be and to receive?
So melting energy is like part of killing energy.
Yes. Yes, that.
Okay.
And notice while we're talking, even in the moments we haven't talked now, those very small silent moments, notice there is that energy of melting. But we haven't learned to listen to, we only learn to listen to the words and the loud stuff. But there's so much to receive from the subtleties that are between words and beyond words. And that's a big clue to having more ease with everything.
Totally the business done different.
It is business done different. And I really love it because years ago when I was asked, hey, why don't you do business classes? And I'm like, I don't know, business not really my thing. And it was actually Simone asking me, hey, can you do those classes also? And I'm like, nah, I mean, I'm not really a business person. She's like, are you kidding me? It's like you've been creating successful business for 15 years. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just playing. She's like, yeah, exactly. And that's business done different. You know, that's business done different because business done normal is like, you know, you have to, you know, work really hard. But what if we play again? If we allow that element of playing again? And yes. So one more last thing is if you want to change your business, look at how you are creating your whole life. Okay. So if you want to change something in your business, look at how you're creating your whole life. It will tell you a lot about how you create business. If you're in your whole life going, I have to play small, or I'm not worth it, or you have any points of view, that's how you create your business. You know, what if your whole life was your business and you just like, look, what would I like to honor myself with? What would I like to allow myself? What would be fun for me? You know, what would be fun for you next with all of your creations? And if you get that, if you don't hold yourself back, that's a gift for the whole universe. You depriving yourself, you making yourself less, you choosing less, that's how you deprive the whole universe of you. maybe that gives you a different, you know, motivation of, okay, maybe I should step up. Maybe that would be fun. The adventure of it. So I know this was a lot, this call, and you all get the recordings, and maybe you want to listen to it again because there's a lot in there, and there's going to be more. I mean, if you want to really dive into business done different, like really, 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 and you want to explore and invest in your life and your future, there's more. Like, we're going to have a 3-day business done different class coming up in Vienna and online in the Pragmatic Psychology Center, and online in November. The dates will be somewhere. Not good at dates, but it's a class where there's people who have never done business and are new, and people who make millions in their businesses. Like, people, all kinds of different people take these classes because it has a totally different perspective on creating business from ease, joy, and glory, and so much greater than you can control. So I'm so looking forward to this class. So and if you want something where you dive into more creation, in we also have a couple of hours class coming up next Sunday on the 17th, which is about, do you already have your creation upgrade? Because creation now is so different. If you had a little bit of the conversation about the basis and what's going on lately in Access, creation is so different right now. A lot of people have no clue on what they would like, and less so now because of how the world is, and they think they don't have choice, and they don't even start anymore because, you know, how the world is. And then it seems like, I don't even know how my future will look like. So how do you create now? How can you create business and money in a world like this, and from that energy of, I don't even know what I want anymore, or I don't even know if it's possible? How can you create successfully now? Because what's required now is different. You know, a lot of people try to create business from how they did in the 80s or the 90s. That doesn't work anymore. Or in the 2000s. That's like, it doesn't work anymore. So there's something else required right now, truly a upgrade in creation. So we're going to have a couple of hours class on the 17th. And all of that will be in the email with the recordings. You know what creates more for you. This is an invitation for you to know what's on the buffet, and you know what's creating more for your future. And I'm really, really, really grateful for your presence on this call and receiving. Did you notice you received? Will you acknowledge? Yep. How does it get any better in this? What else is possible? And yes, we can post a link again somewhere, maybe here or in the email. And thank you all so much. And thank you so much, beautiful translators, for making this available in all the languages and all the people who speak your languages. I'm very, very, very grateful for you. So keep on rock and rolling. Enjoy you. And I'd love to see you somewhere, live or online. Big hugs to you.
Thank you. Thank you.